This is a Newsbreak presentation from 106.3 FM and Hometown TV of the recent Pineville City Council meeting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bruce, yes.
Father God, we come before you, Lord. We are truly humbled in your presence, Lord. We pray, Lord, that you would be with this council, Lord, that you would grant knowledge and wisdom, Lord, to each and every one, that we can do, Lord, what is right for this city, Lord. Lord, I want to lift up a special prayer for Bell County and for both the cities, Pineville and Millersboro, Lord. Just pray, Lord, that you would continue to bless and move these cities forward. Lord, just thank you for your son Jesus, and thank you for the cross of Calvary. And all these things we pray in the sweet name of Jesus. Amen.
Bingham.
Here.
Bush.
Here.
Gambrell.
Here.
Nunn.
Here.
Pinevile.
Here.
Woolen.
First item on the agenda is Main Street. Oh, wait, just 1 minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Move,
I make a motion.
thank you. Approve the minutes.
Second.
We weren't able to have a meeting last month because of lack of quorums. I have a motion on the floor and a second. Tolerant.
Bingham.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
Gambrell.
Yes.
Nunn.
Yes.
Pinevile.
Yes.
Last time I was prepared, this time I was not. I brought Main Street manuals for everyone to understand Main Street a little better, how it's worked, how it's been reconstructed, so I will bring those the next time. But we did have a meeting, and we're going to begin our summer concert series in Main Street Park. Got it cleaned, got our flowers planted. I think someone had like a wedding reception or some type of bridal shower or something there Saturday, and it looked really pretty. We're also wanting to try to do something new, like a movie night once a month. We're trying to find like a portable or a outdoor screen. So if anyone knows where, there was somebody here had one at one time. So if we could find that, and then just do some old but good movies for family, so we can just throw a blanket on the courthouse square or in the park, and just once a month. And so that's one thing that we were hoping to do. And of course, our new fitness equipment that was purchased by Microclinic International and the health department has been put into our park with the help of Councilman Nunn. He helped us out with that, and they are fantastic. So we're planning on doing like a fit fun in the sun at the park on a Saturday morning. Do just different events that are fit, but they're fun for children and adults as well. We've got a date, some dates in mind, but we're just trying to work them around what else is going on in town without having two events on the same day. So
That's at the mini park on Walnut Street. In case y'all haven't been down there and saw it, is there six pieces of equipment that are made for the outdoors, and they're super nice. The ideal thing is for us to get a walking trail, to try to get adults and parents down there while the kids are playing, for the parents to exercise, to walk, and get everybody moving. The county and Bruce there helped us make sure that we got all those put in place, and we really appreciate their help on that. And they're super nice. Everybody needs to go check it out.
And of course, our annual Kids Fest that we always do. We went ahead and started early talking about that, as well as our fundraiser where we do the haunted house, and we assign that to a chairman. So we are kind of now getting back into the swing of things. So the concert series will start in June. We've already started our community yard sale, although it rained our first one out. I think a lot of people were disappointed, but with it being that Fall Festival month, we really didn't want to push it back to another date and just add more, you know, chaos and cleanup to the downtown. So that will resume in June. So we have several things planned.
What night is summer concert series?
We usually do those on Tuesday, but one of the board members of Main Street suggested that we do our movies on Tuesdays and move our concert series maybe to Thursday night. Because when school starts back, we can stop the concert series, but we would like to continue on with the movie night, and there's sometimes little football games and different things that are going on Thursday nights. So.
Are you doing downtown activities for the festival this year? Is there any different streets or whatever that's going to be closed, or
As far as
like
I know,
that?
nothing has been said of that.
Is there anything different that's going to be on the streets or anything that we need to get approval for?
Maybe the zip line.
The zip line?
Possibly, I'm not
Possible. We're more than 50% sure that they're coming, so do we
They
need
should
to?
have their own liability insurance. You just
They-
need
yeah, they
to
do.
make sure to check for that.
Would be the-
Pinball, none of that.
Where's the zip line going to be?
They have to come down and assess the situation,
Yeah.
is what he said. So,
I don't know of any high spots they could really face them.
well,
Yeah.
But the way they talk, they bring their own stuff and they just put it up and, yeah.
if they can do it in Rump Arena, then they can do it down Kentucky Avenue. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they can figure it out, from Chain Rock to the clock. It even rhymes. So if there is a problem, I will come straight to
That'd
you.
be a hell of a ride.
What I take.
My thinking is Chain Rock to the parking lot of the resort.
She has been talking a lot about it, not just once either. So we have several things that we are getting ready to start in June. Never kind of intermingle it with May. So, anything?
Sounds like you've got a busy schedule.
Well, we're trying to do some things a little different because yeah, okay. I'm just, you know, we were doing some things and now I think other people are doing them as well, so now we're trying to go a different direction.
That's good.
Somebody have any questions or anything?
Just keep up the good job.
Express. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your thing. The next item on the agenda is to approve the second reading of the Main Street ordinance, changing the date and time. That was to change the date
To the first Monday at 5:30. 6.
It's not 5:30, it's 6.
You told us 5:30, it's what the first reading was on.
It is 5:30. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Then I make a motion for the second approval of the Main Street ordinance.
First Monday of the month at 5:30.
Second.
Correct. Have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Bingham.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
Gambrell.
Yes.
Nunn.
Yes.
Pineville.
Yes.
Woolen.
Yes.
I'm going to skip around on this agenda a little bit before Joanna leaves, if she does. one of the items is to approve street closing for the KMLF. And you're saying that everything will be the same and we won't be closing anything other than half of Walnut and Pine Street?
Okay. No. But I did forget to mention that we did get the flower pots in as well for the poles and things to be put into the ground for the big flower arrangements that we have that will be going around the downtown area. I don't think we've got the street signs in yet.
So the streets that's going to be closed is half of Walnut Street in front of the post office and Pine Street for the food vendors. And then is Kentucky Avenue going to be closed after the parade for, is there a street dance or anything's happening?
Yes.
So after the parade?
After the street dance, Friday and Saturday.
So how will the road get blocked Friday night then?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
that was-
found out there was two street dances the other day, but we normally block it for karaoke.
Yes, you do.
It's usually blocked anyway.
You end up blocking cars in a lot of times though, and you end up with kids and people out in the street dancing and then cars back out. It just kind of creates a hazard. Maybe we need to figure out a way to post some sort of time event thing and put on those meters there on Kentucky Avenue asking people
Parking lot
not to
closes
park.
after
Yeah,
certain time
after
or
a
something.
certain time on Friday or something. And that way they'll have the cars moved before it's closed and keep from creating such a problem. And then it would be clear for parade then on Saturday that way too, so that would, yeah. So, do I have a motion then for them to close those street closings?
Motion.
Motion by Bruce. Do I have a second? Second by Bone. Call the roll.
Bingham.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
Kimbrell.
Yes.
Nunn.
Yes.
Pennell.
Yes.
Woolen.
Yes.
The next item will be the swimming pool. There's been some new regulations this year as far as handicapped accessibility. We're going to have to add a lift or a
lift.
to be able to get anyone out that is handicapped. We're
In or
getting,
out. Wheelchair. Their wheelchair.
We have until June to get quotes and have it installed, I think, is what you said a minute ago.
They've extended it until June is what I have been told. Right now it's as of May the 21st. But if you have it on order, then you're good to go because there is a backup. The manufacturers have not been able to manufacture these lifts fast enough to get them to all the pools in the United States, you know.
Yeah.
So if you have it on order, then you're good to go.
So this is the only thing we need to meet the ADA requirements?
We have a quote from Tipton Pool is the one that built it. And I didn't bring the quote with me. It's in the neighborhood of $10,000. We have some monies left in the fund that we have working on the event. So more than likely that we're going to have to use it for that.
When's the pool gonna open
Well, it depends on the health department when they get over. And we had to hold the water from being completely filled Saturday night because the guy that was cleaning the pool cone said we had 4 broken tile. And I went to Knoxville today and picked those up, and I think John's going to put them on for us tomorrow, so we'll be able to fill the pool on up and get it going. Hansel will come down and check out all the plumbing again to the sprinkler and the park the water park. And then the health department will have to come and inspect the school facilities. So hopefully we should be open by, if not the end of this week, which I'm not anticipating too much, but by next week, hopefully we'll be up to go.
School gets out early for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
So that will be 2 weeks
Next week.
earlier than what we normally do.
Normally it's festival, we wait until
Until
Monday
Monday
after the
after.
festival. Mhm.
So how are we going to let people in the community?
Well, we always put it on community TV, and
Yes.
and we post it at the stores, and
But
all
word
you
of
have to
mouth,
do
it'd
is
be
tell
out.
them over at Pig Pack, and the word is out.
The word's out, the word of mouth, yeah.
We'll
So
see.
we'll try to get it open if we get everything approved and
Yeah,
we get it fixed and all that. We should be open by the end of next week anyway, that's what you're saying. Last year, there was some issues too, if you all remember. There was a lot of adults that came and were hanging out down there, and some issues that the lifeguards were requesting that we try to do something about, and it was suggested that we put the admission fee back on there to try to cut down loitering, basically.
I think anybody should pay that's not in school, and that includes
Right.
college.
And I thought that was the way it was set up to begin with, that it was only school age. Anyone that was in school had free admission, and an adult or someone not in school had to pay an admission.
No, that's not the way you all voted. You voted to let everybody in.
I like the idea of making
I
Not in
think
school.
that's a good one.
So if you're in college, if you have a college
College.
ID,
college
Then-
included, you know, I don't, they should be able to get in too.
And then I'll second Bo's motion.
I
So
think
any
anybody, any
adult-
school. Yeah. Yeah.
adults then $2, $3. You don't want to put it too high that adults won't come
No, I'd say
and
$2.
Because
keep
that-
up with their
yeah,
children.
they've got to keep up with their children. That was one of the issues last year also, was people were bringing
Dropping
their
their
children
kids
and
off.
dropping them off.
And we did make the rule that if your child is not able to swim on their own and take care of themselves, then they're not to be let out at the pool by themselves. An adult
Yeah.
has to be with them.
There's
I
an
think
age,
$2.
it was $10 or $11.
Yeah.
I'm at 10 or 11 years old, that they had to be accompanied by a parent.
I think that's fair.
An adult.
So $2 then is the price,
I think that's fair.
and
think
that's
so, too.
going to be part of your motion.
Sure.
So $2 for anyone that is not in school. Adults that are not in school. Children would be free, I'm assuming. Is that what you want?
Yes.
What about children that are not in school?
Free, that's what I just asked. So children under the age of 6 or whatever that aren't in school are free.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Is there any discussion on that? Call the roll.
Bingham.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
Gambrell.
Yes.
Nunn.
Yes.
Pennell.
Yes.
Woolen.
Yes.
Next item is our letter from CSX. This is like the ongoing letter that's been going for as long as I can remember. This is a new offer. They've changed people again, and every time they change people, they have a different offer. I'll let John go into this, or is this something you think we need to
What?
discuss from closed
It's
session?
litigation. I mean, it's potential litigation.
We should probably make a motion for
To go
executive
into
session.
executive session regarding that. Okay, and I'll recommend that we put this off then until the End of the meeting. Next item will be the hotel update. As I'm sure that most of you or all of you know, we had our meeting the other day with tourism. We took 3 attorneys with us to give our side of the situation and what we felt like that the legal opinions were. The mayor of Middlesboro was there, which said he had called the Kentucky League of Cities and had gotten a legal opinion from their attorneys. The judge was there, which had called KCO and had talked with their legal opinions. So we had 5 legal opinions basically with us that day. But we only had 1 hour to make a presentation. 7-year project, and we were given 1 hour.
Did they even give you an hour?
Not really. I mean, they had their, well, no, I don't feel like they did. And
there was no
anyway,
interest on their part even listening to it, was it?
They voted it down.
Did they give a reason why they voted? Because I never heard a reason.
They never gave one.
They never gave any explanation at all, did they?
Afterwards, I heard on camera on YMT, the one lady said, well, she didn't think that the hotel would be filled with people like we were suggesting, or that there would be as many employees as we were saying that there would be, which was not part of the question. That was her opinion.
It's not part of the memorandum of understanding. Has nothing to do with that.
We have no authority, as far as the city itself goes, to change that. As you all know, we've got no ability to say how our money is spent. We've got no ability to suggest how it's spent or to put anyone on their board. I mean, they have total and complete authority as far as that project goes to vote it up or down. There was another meeting on Friday. The mayor, Bill Kelly, and the judge, Albie Brock, called another press conference that I attended. After looking back through the minutes and things since they've become the judge and the mayor, they have found that there was some oversights, I think, on their part. 2 of the board members' terms had expired in December and they hadn't been reappointed. So those 2 board members were replaced, and then they found that one lived in Tennessee and was not eligible by law to serve. And so he was replaced. They asked for a new meeting to be held this week, Thursday or Friday. I haven't heard as of today whether they're going to meet or what their decision is. I think that it would be great if that new board did meet and that they would allow all of the opinions to be given to them, where they could at least weigh the facts as to what was being presented. It's hard to present a different side to a subject when you've got your mind made up.
You had your mind made up before you ever went in there.
And, you know,
that's right.
But the way I feel,
kudos to our judge,
yes,
mayor.
Our mayor and our judge have
Middlesboro.
stood by us, and we
Right.
owe them a lot, because this project is far too important, and I think everybody sitting on this council agrees that it's far too important to just accept no and to walk away from. I mean, I'm still in shock that they weren't, that they weren't wanting to be part of this project. I mean, it's going to bring people into Bell County. It's going to promote our area. It's going to promote tourism. It's going to provide jobs.
That's what I
It's
can't understand.
the ideal thing.
They call themselves a tourism commission, but we don't want to do anything for tourism, especially in Pineville. That's, in my opinion, the key, so. But anyway, kudos to our judge and mayor who care about things happening in this part of the country.
Well, in my opinion, it was very gracious of them to allow us to tax our citizens in the restaurant and then use that money to build a golf course. That was very gracious of them. And I just wish they'd be gracious again and allow us to use our money to pay bonds to build something for Bell County.
It is our money. You know, the law, it needs to be changed. This is antiquated law, evidently, that has been on the books since I don't know when, but I mean, I just do not understand how you have the ability to tax your people, but you have no ability to say how the money is spent.
Used. It's crazy.
Or to put anyone on the board that spends the money. If it's not taxation without representation, I don't know what is. But that's another issue for another day, and that's something I'm not going to shut up on either.
Well, can you take the restaurant tax off?
We can, but if we do that, then we are killing the project, and the
Oh,
project.
I'm not talking about
yeah.
if it didn't go through.
How they know that.
Easily.
That's the
We can just have a motion
we put
and
it
second
on there, we can
and
take
rescind
it off.
That can happen.
I just still am in shock that, you know, they didn't want to be part of it. And the thing is, they will get a hotel tax from this. I'm not sure that everybody in the community understands that.
And whether you're gonna get the restaurant tax, what did we estimate, $60,000 to $100,000, is that what we said one time?
Restaurant tax?
I mean, the hotel tax.
If the rooms are all filled in the hotel, I think the exact number was like 139,000
Almost 140,000
a year.
Assuming 100%.
If it were completely full, so.
And that does not come to Pineville.
Oh, I know.
That does not come
But
to
I mean, they're
Pineville.
gonna get
goes
that.
straight to
That
the
goes straight to the tourism, which they're
commission
gonna
for them to
get.
use
Right.
solely at their discretion.
Correct.
For tourism or whatever they
Right.
choose in Bell County, if it's Middlesboro, if it's in the county, if it's in the city, wherever.
However you wanna use it.
Yeah, they can use, but, you know, even if the hotel's half full, which, you
That's
know,
right.
was their reason for going against it, they're gonna get 65,000 or so. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a win-win situation, I would think, for them and for us and for our area. You're able to promote a few golf conventions, golf packages and things, get a few small businesses that would come in and.
That motel's the biggest
Golf
tourism thing we've
packages.
ever had in Powell, Bell County, in my opinion.
When those people are here, they're gonna be heading out and going somewhere to eat, which
That's
would
right.
be Middlesboro. They're gonna be buying gas all over this county. They're gonna be spending money, you know, all over Bell County. It has to have all
They
of
may
us.
even come in the pawn shop.
They could. Yeah.
So you're basically saying that the meeting that occurred with the members that were not supposed to be there, their term ended, and the one that's out of town with this new tourism board, they can go and vote and possibly reverse this?
I'm saying that 3 of those board members have been replaced, of which I just said I had no control over. That is strictly by law, the judge and the mayor of the largest city. Legally, I think there's different opinions on what happens at this point.
Well, one thing I would say is without research, when you have a board member or a member of a body that could not sit on that body by statute, and that's the resident of Tennessee. Is it he, she? His vote could not, can't be valid. So it's a situation where it's very likely that that vote may be considered void or voidable from the standpoint of that person's vote was invalid. It couldn't even be cast.
What about the ones that hadn't been appointed to the board?
That's I'm not sure about. I would have to read the statute closer to see if because they weren't removed after they weren't reappointed, what effect does the lack of appointment have on that vote? I don't know. But it's possible where, being a board and having a no court structure like you have an appellate court or, a Supreme Court, I don't see why that it could be voted again. I don't see what body would say that this is a final vote and therefore it couldn't be reconsidered. I think it could be. I think it just has to be requested.
In boards and commissions,
Sure.
it can be revoted.
I think so.
Who has to request that?
The next meeting, someone can call
Sure.
for a vote.
To bring up the issue for a vote.
Right.
There's no finality to it, is what I'm
No.
getting at. If that's, that's a legal term. There's no finality, there's no final judgment or order. I think it could be brought up at every meeting.
And if it follows the same steps like our boards and commissions, if they're not reappointed retroactive, then they're not eligible. I mean, their vote is null and void.
It's very possible that, it's voidable or void.
Mhm.
I don't know which one it would be, but definitely the person that was a resident of Tennessee, that vote can't count. It was, I don't want to say illegal, but the statute's very clear, that it has to be a resident of the Commonwealth.
So it's definitely a void vote.
I think so.
But any board and commission can revisit any issue.
Well,
I agree with that.
minutes would have to be
I don't like
approved,
to
I would think.
I don't like to say, anything
and if they
100% about
weren't,
research.
You won't say that, but
Sure,
I will.
but I don't see a reason, I can't think of a logical reason why they couldn't.
No.
Especially under the circumstances where one of the parties could not vote.
Right.
One thing about it, this issue is far from over. And as long as we can challenge and fight, we'll be right there doing it.
I guess the reason I brought the question up is quite a few people asking, is that the final decision? Personally, if I have a say in it, no, it's not a final decision.
No, it's not.
It's too important of a project. I think the judge and Bill Kelly get a bad rap. I think they done what they should do. They actually put a man off the board that was in Tennessee. They chose not to appoint two people. And if that's the wrong reason, then I can't see how it would be. The major issue is, and another thing you hear is, if somebody brings up the liquor in the motel. Let's put that aside and think about the big picture.
Today's
It's
the
jobs.
first day I heard that.
It's jobs.
It's jobs.
It's employment. It's the biggest step that's ever been made in Bell County, in my opinion.
It's a tiny Toyota.
If I could comment on that, Bruce, I think, from a legal standpoint, which is, I think that Judge Brock and Mayor Kelly, regardless of whether this is an issue, regardless of who we're speaking about a hotel, when they reviewed the status of those members, they have no choice.
Correct.
They have no choice to
Correct.
reappoint and to remove, regardless if there was a
Regardless of the motel or
They have no
whatever.
choice.
Right.
But that's hard for some people to understand.
But I could see, but from a legal standpoint, that whether it's a hotel or not, they still have to remove the person from Tennessee, and they still have to
Correct.
reappoint two people.
Correct.
They did the right thing.
Have no choice.
That's right.
And this
I don't
hotel
think
too,
there's
I
discretion
think,
there. I think they have to.
on the alcohol issue, I think is something that needs to be clarified too. The city is already moist, which was voted on
5 years ago.
years ago by the people. And if there is a restaurant in the hotel, it will be able to serve alcohol by the vote of the people. That has nothing to do with the new election that's being called for in June.
If the Pizza Hut was large enough, it could serve
Alcohol.
right now.
Yeah.
But drinking is a choice.
That's
I mean,
right.
you choose.
Correct.
It's just like smoking or anything else, it's a choice. Does it bother me to go in a good restaurant and see people drinking? No, I don't pay attention to it. Do I like it? Not necessarily, but it's not an issue for me.
And I agree with Madam Mayor, that's a moot point, because, like I said, if the Pizza Hut could seat 100 people and chose to, right now they could apply for a license according to the ordinance passed by this city and have a drink in there.
People need to understand that's already here.
Right, correct.
You
been
see?
here.
Yeah, it's been here for years.
5 years now.
But there's no alcohol being served. So the hotel has got nothing to do with that issue.
Mm.
It's about economic development and bringing people into our area and putting our people to work.
I agree.
Well, I think like you said, though, we don't give up. We keep fighting as hard as we can fight to try to get our motel.
Our hotel committee and Mayor Rader and Judge Albie Brock and Mayor Bill Kelly, I'm glad to see them stand up for economic development.
You know, and everybody wants to say there's always all of this bickering and everything, but the judge and the mayor both went out of their way to stand up for the city of Pineville, and I want to make that clear.
They sure did.
That, you know, they have stood there beside us and have fought for us. Whether this goes or not, those two men have been very supportive of this city. And you know, we need to remember
They
that.
sure have.
But
That's why I say kudos to them.
But they see the future, because when it happens, the county will receive the ad valorem tax, which is the room tax, and the tourism board will receive the restaurant tax. And are there any other taxes involved?
No, you're right.
That's what we're talking about.
So
That's what they're wanting, is a restaurant tax.
So that, you know, that will absolutely help everybody, every citizen, regardless of if they live in the county or the city limits of either city. It will help all of us.
You know, if anybody's got an opinion one way or the other on this project, they're more than welcome to come by and tell us what they think, or to, you know, to let the judge or the mayor know, and let your tourism commission know what you think. I think that they deserve to know how people feel.
If they'll listen. If they had a chance to listen, they wouldn't listen.
There's, you know, there's some good people on that board, and I'm sure that maybe they have made their mind up for whatever reason on information that was given them that doesn't necessarily match the information that we have. And a lot of times there's different opinions on the same issue and the same thing, but you've got to weigh the facts as they are and make a decision that's informed. And if they will do that, then I will be content, because then I feel like they will go along with us. They looked at one opinion.
That's what I say, if
And
they
that's
give
all
us a
they care
chance to
about.
tell them what it is. That's what I'm saying, if they would listen to what it is.
There's people that traveled a great distance that day and, you know, put a lot of time and effort into that meeting to be given an hour. And it just is, I feel like Pineville deserves better than that. And we're going to keep on fighting. Does anybody else have anything to say about the hotel project? Anybody in the crowd have anything?
Yes, I do. Can we, the citizens of Pineville, do anything to put the word out that we do want it? I mean, public forums, is there anything that we can put out there saying that we are for this hotel, that we want to see it go in?
Well, you know, the Tourism Commission is the one that at this point that is blocking it. I think they're the ones probably that need to hear some voices.
Yeah.
That,
Can we
don't
put,
agree with that? I think that's,
are they readily available to us, the citizens?
well, there's a tourism office in downtown Middlesboro on Cumberland Avenue.
See, one thing,
Phone and mailing address.
the reason I came to this meeting tonight is I heard Brian on the radio today talking about these meetings. And I got to thinking, just knowing a few of you, personally, I've known you pretty much all my life. I've known you
Not that
and a few others. And a few others. But the majority of the council, I wonder if the people in Pineville actually know who a lot of yous are. I mean, it just seems like our politicians, and not, this ain't going against you all,
I know what you mean.
but the politicians are just detached from the citizens. Like this commission that done this, did they even listen to any citizens before they made their judgment? Or was it just a personal view of them? Or how did they come about all this? And how can we, the citizens, change their mind?
That's a good question. That was a meeting that day that was scheduled by them. I'm not sure if she sent notifications out as far as to the general public. I know that I sent invitation to the press because I felt like everybody deserved to hear what their answer was going to be.
I mean, if a lot of the citizens would have been there to say, hey, no, that ain't what we want.
So it was sort of.
One thing you could suggest is just beside the tourism. Call the mayor, just let not necessarily the board members.
He was sort of saying the same thing, that everybody needs to pick the phone up and call the people at the Bell County Tourism Board. They have a number that's listed in the office. Call the judge, call Middlesboro mayor, and tell them that you back it. If they're not there, tell their secretary or whoever answers the phone that you're in support. You know, signatures on paper don't hurt anything to take them, you know, to say you're standing behind something.
And this is not some fly-by-night project. This thing's been going on 5-6 years, and people putting their heart and soul into trying to make this happen. And then we don't get it listened to. I mean, that's what bothers me.
3 governors.
3 governors. I mean, people have given it so much effort and time into this project.
3 mayors, 3 governors.
And to not even get more than an hour to be listened to, not even listen to that, I mean, I'm just slapping our face.
I was actually over at the tourism meeting when it happened, and they actually did a vote of the people that was in the room, and there was probably, what,
2 or
30 or 40
yeah,
people.
there was probably, we figured 40 or 50 people.
2 people, how the whole thing raised their hand that they went for the project. Of course,
Everybody
they
else.
don't count the vote, the people that voted. I personally stood in the back, and I tried to take a independent approach, like I'd never heard of the project. Things were explained so well that it would have changed my mind if I'd never heard about the project. But when you go into something like that and you get a vote like you did, then you automatically think, well, they knew what they was going to do before they did it.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
And I think I'll stop right there.
That's what everybody that I've talked to came up with, that before they even walked in the building, they knew what they was going to say.
It's just hard to explain.
I wish I could have went to that meeting.
But I also say
That
this,
board doesn't.
there's no use feeling hard at Middlesboro and Middlesboro's business, because there's a lot of people in Middlesboro that support
No,
this
it doesn't
project.
at all.
A lot of people.
Popular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think what John was just saying, that he doesn't feel like that the board's vote totally represents how the Middlesboro and Bell County people feel. You know, that was one handful of, select handful of people.
I think it would be unfair for the residents of Pineville or Bell County or Middlesboro, or especially the residents of Pineville, to think that, you know, it's something that the city of Middlesboro, but yes, I didn't get that.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
The people I talk to on a daily basis, it's actually the opposite. I don't think I've spoken to anyone.
I've had an
that's against it.
overwhelming show of
guarantee it.
support
From
for this
Middlesboro.
project from the
Yeah.
county and from Middlesboro.
Yeah.
Most definitely, I agree 100% with that.
This project is not going to go away.
It hasn't for.
I mean, until there is absolutely no choice left.
Well, we haven't.
No, it's just not an option.
You haven't given up in 7 years with 3 mayors and 3 governors, so I don't think we're going to quit now.
This is the first time, though, that you've had a developer that has had the funding source, that's, you know, that has had the state work out an agreement with forestry, and everybody's been on the same page and willing to move at the same time. And it, you know, it was all there and it's ready to start. And
Can this project move forward without the tax?
without the restaurant tax, I'm not saying it can't, I don't think, but I think that it's probably highly unlikely.
My understanding is maybe.
This
technically-
MOU,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if the bonds will be able to be sold about it. And that's my
With
understanding.
the economy being what it is, yeah, it's kind of reassurance, I guess, to be able to.
We've been told it would be difficult, if not impossible, to sell the bonds. And if you can't sell the bonds, then you don't have,
Sort
don't
of
have a
like the
project.
horse park that was going to have the new hotel built, and then the economy tanked, and, you know, money's tight right now, and people are leery, and they have trouble selling these bonds, but there's a window of opportunity that's there now, and as long as that opportunity's there, then we intend to be in there trying to do everything we can to see this project through and see if we can't make it happen. That's jobs that the majority of will be from Bell Countyans. And there's a lot of people that are out of work, and as you know, the mines are, different ones are closing every day. Restrictions, everything are getting so much tighter on them. People are in need of jobs, and we're in need of rooms. I mean, it's hard when you have people, these girls can tell you, working with a festival right now. Those rooms in Middlesboro, Barberville, have been booked for months, yeah. Usually by January, and the park will book up theirs usually from one year to the next for the festival.
Just one more question, Mayor. What would you say to those people who claim that this hotel will only be busy one time of the year?
I just kind of think that's ridiculous to even think about. I can think of, if you just want to look at occasions, I mean, you can look at Bristol, the traffic that comes through here.
The
I mean,
daily
common
traffic
sense.
total that goes through
But
that's
the daily,
unreal.
like he said, the
AT-
daily traffic total is getting larger and larger, and there's been
ATV.
studies that the ATV, John Grace and the four-wheelers and things.
And that's one reason the golf course is that people don't come, there's nowhere to stay. If we had a place for people to come stay and play golf, they would come, groups would come and play golf and have conventions and so forth.
This
here.
hotel is designed with a parking lot in the back so that they can bring their four-wheelers and that stuff, and, you know, all those that come for the weekends to go ride, their wives and all of those can come down here and have a lounge, you know, pool and a spa, whatever, that they can hang out at or go shop or whatever. But, you know, I think it's going to be utilized by a lot of different people, and with the traffic count, like he was saying, on our highway, the two connecting interstates, people traveling through to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, you know, they started up with less than what we have on this bypass. You know, I know everybody's not as old as I am, but I can remember way back when, you know, going to Pigeon Forge and there really being nothing over there but a black bear and a cage and a restaurant and a service station or something. You know, you've got to start somewhere.
Can't we get a black bear?
Well,
All we
if
have to do is
nothing
set a
else,
trap on Wall Hill. I can get you a black
There's going to be
bear.
some, we might get several.
Developers And investors would not write a project for $14.1 million just because they think it's a pretty place. They're going to write, they're money people, they're going to write a project and invest in something that is going to make them money.
They have done study after study on this. They have looked at the traffic counts. How do people think that Cracker Barrel decided to come to Middlesboro? You see them off of interstates very often,
Because of the traffic count.
There are people that travel through here, and you can tell that if you drive to Middlesboro night after night and look sitting up there on the hill, the number of
Probably
cars.
80% of people coming from Michigan, now they're going to the East Coast, come through here instead of going through Knoxville.
But, this is not about knocking the people in Middlesboro out of business because, if the average person that's just traveling through is going to stop its family, are they going to stay in a $70 hotel or are they going to stay in a $120 hotel? The average family is going to stay in the $70 hotel, so they will go on to Middlesboro. But you want to think that there is going to be an occasional one that will stop here at this hotel and pay the extra money because, there may be something here that attracts them. And, we can have some things that, not necessarily a black bear, but, that's, I'm not saying it's
Well, I
not
hear
possible.
people-
We've got the beauty of
That's
this
what I was
little
going to say.
town.
I hear people talk all the time. I've seen Floco, they come in and talk about how beautiful it is to sit here and look up at the mountains. You get people from other places come in here and see the beauty of our mountains and the golf course and everything we got. People will come and have, companies will have conventions there, golfers will come. I mean, you got to promote it, but there's going to be all kinds of opportunities.
The state is willing to promote this hotel in their reservation systems. They're willing to stand behind it because they feel like that if we get people in here with conventions and by selling golf packages and that sort of thing, once you get them in here, they're going to be walking our trails up in the park. They're going to be going to Chain Rock. They're going to be eating in the restaurant, and they're going to be coming back. There's families that enjoy, just enjoy doing nothing except enjoying nature.
And people come and have a nice meal. Sit
And
down
you
meal somewhere.
touched on it there, it's a choice, again, it's a choice. The majority of the people probably want to take a shower and sleep in a bed. Do you want to take a shower and sleep in a bed, or do you want all the amenities? Do you want everything, the pool, the room service, the restaurant, the lounges, the conference? It's a choice.
We could go on and on for a week, and I have, but I may be going on and on in another week. I don't know if I will ever shut up over this.
I'll be
I'm like
with
a
you.
wind-up toy.
Amen.
And the more I talk, the more fired up I seem to be getting about it, but,
I'd say 90% of Bell County is be with you too.
I feel like they are,
I think so too.
It's just hard to accept, and we don't intend to until it reaches its final step, whatever that is, so. Anybody else have anything? I think that then we need to, I guess we can go around and see if the council has anything before we go into closed session to discuss this legal issue with CSX. It's an ongoing issue with the railroad tracks and walls in where the floodgates are. They had stopped and think. It's been ongoing for many years, and we're trying to reach a settlement with them, and they've made an offer, so that's what we'll have to talk about when we go into closed session. But before then, David, do you have anything that you want to bring up? Pat?
No, but I'm sure you're starting the budget process in your spare time with the festival and the pool.
Whenever we can.
Good.
One thing I would like to say too, now that I've said your name out loud, is congratulations. Pat was named Woman of the Year, in case you all didn't see that, by the
Thank
Pinevile
you.
Rotary the other night.
Thank you.
Very well deserved. Made a good choice.
Thank you.
Chuck?
Somebody was asking about the road by the Bell County border. Is it bad? Is it in bad shape?
The
Huh? The road by the Bell
The
County Board of
street.
Education Street. It's talking about trying to get the road fixed next to the Bell County
It's
Board
got
of
a few
Education.
places where
talking about
water
Oak?
lines have been fixed and stuff, but it's blacktop. I mean, it's-
Oak Street.
I guess it's okay, I'm not sure the
We,
issue, so.
yeah, if you're talking about on the far end, yeah, it's one of the ones I think we've got on that list for him to look at. And there's a spot in front of the gym there too that still has to be. And he's waiting on, something about blacktop, that he will be
Right.
here by next week to get
Right.
that blacktop before the festival on Horseshoe Drive,
Good, good.
so. Oak Street and Lawn. Do you have anything, Bruce?
Just like to say thanks to everybody that's involved with the motel. There's many, many people, and you can't sit here and name them all.
Yes.
And would ask that everybody that says a prayer daily to pray for Bell County and its people, the cities, both cities, that we can move forward. That's it.
No, ma'am.
No.
I think that's a good idea, Bruce. Okay, then I need a motion to go.
So move, executive session concerning litigation.
If anybody has any response to any of this conversation, they're welcome to pick the phone up, call me, call Judge Executive, Mayor of Middlesboro, Dale County Tourism Office, and let your opinions be heard.
Thank you for watching this production of Newsbeat from 106.3 FM and Hometown TV 13.